yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. in tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
I don't judge, and the old timers didn't either, fighters chronologically as much as I do by the amount of fights they've had and the amount of punches they've taken. I judge them that way.
Because he definitely had the skill of a top five, just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get. And that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody.
Boxing analysts are starting to entertain what once seemed impossible, that Terence Crawford could rival a prime Floyd Mayweather. His commanding unanimous decision over Canelo Alvarez to claim the undisputed super middleweight title has people talking. Crawford drew acclaim not just for the victory itself, but for his performance, controlling distance, fluidly switching stances, holding his ground under pressure, and blending smart strategy with ruthless efficiency.
Crawford outboxed Canelo, made Canelo miss, stood right in front of him when he was supposed to, he moved when he was supposed to, made it look easy. He beat Canelo Alvarez better than Floyd Money Mayweather, which makes him better than Floyd Money Mayweather, in my opinion.
Experts, including Bob Arum, have suggested that Crawford's ambidexterity and all-around skill set give him the rare ability to rival, or potentially exceed, Mayweather at his prime.
Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him, but Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight. But I think there's only one winner.
What fight would make the most? Why do you feel he wipes the floor with him?
Why?
Is it because of the weight difference?
Because Canelo, Canelo is used to fighting at a particular level, and and I don't think that Terence can hurt Canelo, but Canelo can hurt Terence.
Do you think the welterweight Boots Ennis would stand a chance against Crawford? Or?
I have no idea, but I know that Boots Ennis is a tremendous fighter and a great talent. Whether he'd stand a chance with Crawford, I don't really know, because at 147, Crawford is, I think, unbeatable.
The debate over who's greater, Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford, heated up when Canelo Alvarez, who has faced both fighters, publicly stated that he believes Crawford is the superior boxer. Canelo made these comments after Crawford's unanimous decision victory over him in 2025, which earned Crawford the undisputed super middleweight title. He cited Crawford's adaptability, ring intelligence, ability to switch stances, and defensive prowess as reasons why Crawford surpasses Mayweather.
And he said he might be better than Mayweather. I can see it, because Crawford got a little bit of Mayweather in him, but he got the offense going on. It's not like all defense, blocking everything, points, you know. Crawford can actually hurt you. He's actually a fighter. He'll fight you. You know, he'll box you, but he'll fight you too. He ain't no joke.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. forged a legendary career defined by his flawless 50-0 record, unparalleled defensive skills, and the ability to excel across multiple weight classes, from super featherweight to light middleweight. He became renowned for his precise footwork, lightning-fast reflexes, masterful counterpunching, and an uncanny talent for avoiding serious damage while controlling the pace of a fight. Over his career, Mayweather captured 15 major world titles across 5 divisions, often facing other top-tier champions in an era when competition at every level was fierce.
Of all the fights, you've had 50. Who would you say was your toughest opponent?
You got guys that punch hard and hit hard, and you got guys that come out and win a few rounds, but nothing really was tough. I've been in a boxing gym and guys have given me great sparring and great work. They say ass whooping will humble you. I go home and say, you gotta tighten up, champ.
Yeah.
You gotta get it together, champ. And then sometimes I go home and say, is this for me? I make mistakes, but I strive every day to be a perfectionist. And we all know God only made one thing perfect, and that's my boxing record.
You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights, or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Terence Crawford also boasts an undefeated record and has captured over 18 major world titles across 5 weight classes, becoming the first male boxer to achieve undisputed status in 3 divisions. A skilled switch hitter, Crawford carries his power as he moves up in weight, combining technical precision with the ability to finish fights. He has delivered dominant performances against elite opponents, including Errol Spence Jr. and, most recently, Canelo Alvarez.
You know, he was a little frustrated in there, but that's part of the game.
The last question is, I know Trey, after the fight, have you feel yet the significance of this win and what it means in your legacy and your career?
To be honest, when I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, you know, but for me, I knew I could do it and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. You know, he wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it, but, you know, I think I was the better man tonight.
Crawford's showdown with Canelo Alvarez became one of boxing's defining moments. Moving up 2 weight classes to challenge Canelo for the undisputed super middleweight titles, Crawford emerged victorious via unanimous decision after 12 grueling rounds. The judges' scorecards read 116 to 112, 115 to 113, 115 to 113 in his favor. Crawford executed a clear strategy. He controlled the ring with precise footwork, accurate jabs, and well-timed counters, all while withstanding Canelo's power and relentless pressure. Even after suffering a cut above his right eye from an accidental headbutt, he maintained focus and never lost momentum. The win not only made him the first male boxer in modern history to hold undisputed titles in 3 weight classes, but also improved his record to 42-0, solidifying his place among boxing's elite.
To be honest, when I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, you know, but for me, I knew I could do it and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. You know, he wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it, but, you know, I think I was the better man tonight.
In a recent interview, Roy Jones Jr. placed Terence Crawford in the conversation reserved for boxing's all-time greats, praising his skill and versatility, qualities typically seen in Hall of Famers. Jones highlighted Crawford's seamless stance switching, precise timing, high ring IQ, and mastery of both offense and defense as markers of his exceptional ability. While he noted that Crawford still needed a few marquee fights to fully cement his legacy, Jones pointed to Crawford's recent dominant performances against top-tier opponents as evidence that he is finally living up to the immense potential he has long carried.
I'd rank him probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10, because he definitely had the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get, and that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, you know, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for like pound for pound, that maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donaire. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud, no.
Keith Thurman was quick to praise Crawford's performance, calling it a masterclass in boxing fundamentals, ring generalship, and tactical intelligence. He highlighted how Crawford used his jab, footwork, angles, and distance to neutralize Canelo's usual pressure and power. Although Thurman had initially expressed concerns about Crawford moving up in weight, he admitted that Crawford's speed, timing, and composure were decisive. Thurman also noted that Canelo appeared slower than expected and struggled to leverage his physical strength as he had in previous fights. In the end, Thurman concluded that Crawford's victory was a showcase of strategy and skill, demonstrating that while Canelo remains a formidable fighter, he was outboxed in nearly every aspect.
What's up, people? It's the morning after the big fight. Crawford Canelo. Shout outs to Crawford. You did it, boy. You did it. For those who still aren't quite sure what they witnessed last night, I'm gonna let you know that you witnessed what is called a notorious boxing clinic. This is everything done right, okay? First, he worked behind the jab, people. Boxing 101, set your shots up behind the jab. Canelo froze up. He was able to minimize the pressure. Step 2, use the ring. Use the ring. Get to the outside. Make Canelo pivot. Make him pivot. Don't let his feet settle. Okay? Pick your spots. This was a notorious hit and don't get hit. That's boxing 101, people. It's actually the definition of boxing. For those who don't know the definition of boxing, it's to hit and not get hit. It's almost like a game of tag, to simplify it for you folks. All right? And yes, Crawford was tagging him. Not just with the jab, moving, but he was able to do another key factor, which is get respect in the ring. He was able to hold his ground in pockets, work the body, go toe to toe, and catch him with that speed. Bah! With that speed, the straight left, the little uppercuts and the hooks to the body. Like I said, people, it was a clinic.
Fernando Vargas admitted he had misjudged the matchup, conceding that Terence Crawford proved him wrong with a masterful performance. He expressed genuine surprise at how Crawford executed his strategy, praising his sharp technique, impeccable ring control, and precise punching throughout the fight. Vargas still acknowledged Canelo's talent, noting that the Mexican star remains a formidable and accomplished champion, but stressed that on this night, Crawford was clearly the superior fighter. His comments reflected both humility, in admitting he underestimated Crawford, and admiration for the skill and dominance that led to such a historic victory.
What's up, people? It's the morning after the big fight. Crawford Canelo. Shout outs to Crawford. You did it, boy. You did it. For those who still aren't quite sure what they witnessed last night, I'm gonna let you know that you witnessed what is called a notorious boxing clinic. This is everything done right, okay? First, he worked behind the jab, people. Boxing 101, set your shots up behind the jab. Canelo froze up. He was able to minimize the pressure. Step 2, use the ring. Use the ring. Get to the outside. Make Canelo pivot. Make him pivot. Don't let his feet settle. Okay? Pick your spots. This was a notorious hit and don't get hit. That's boxing 101, people. It's actually the definition of boxing. For those who don't know the definition of boxing, it's to hit and not get hit. It's almost like a game of tag, to simplify it for you folks. All right? And yes, Crawford was tagging him. Not just with the jab, moving, but he was able to do another key factor, which is get respect in the ring. He was able to hold his ground in pockets, work the body, go toe to toe, and catch him with that speed. Bah! With that speed, the straight left, the little uppercuts and the hooks to the body. Like I said, people, it was a clinic.
Fernando Vargas Jr., son of Fernando Vargas, also shared his perspective on the fight. He noted that Canelo's career has been exceptionally demanding, with roughly 70 professional bouts to his name. Such a grueling schedule, Vargas Jr. argues, inevitably affects a fighter's body, reflexes, and overall sharpness. While Canelo remains one of boxing's top talents, Vargas Jr. believes the years of high-profile battles have gradually diminished some of the explosiveness and drive that once fueled his rise. He also observed that Canelo's power doesn't seem as punishing as it once was, and the relentless intensity that defined his earlier career now appears somewhat tempered.
The weight was going to be too much. It definitely wasn't. Yeah, it definitely wasn't. I ate my words up, you know what I mean? But ¿Recuerdas de esto? ¿No usas esta foto? Sí. Hace como 2 años. Sí.
Actually, I was thinking this.
Good.
I was like, no, that's great.
I have a you want one now? You guys take it from that ring. I'll give you a coffee. All right, Carlos.
Excuse us.
Yeah. So, what was the goal?
What do you think happens next for both Canelo and Crawford?
I think that, man.
You got it.
Bud, I always knew that Bud was a great fighter. He can work both guards, orthodox and southpaw. Amazing talent.
Paul Bernstein emphasizes another key aspect of Crawford's skill set, his unpredictability. Crawford doesn't rely on a fixed game plan. Instead, he adjusts on the fly, creating constant challenges for opponents who struggle to anticipate his next move. Against a fighter like Canelo, who thrives on timing and counters, this unpredictability is a significant advantage.
Fans or most people would probably say Crawford, I'm guessing, because that's a big part of how he's won, and everybody feels that and rightfully so, that the way he's figured out, he's constantly changing from lefty to righty. He is a person that alters his attack. Sometimes he's a boxer, sometimes he's walking people down. Canelo's style is more the same in most fights. He is a counterpuncher who's waiting for you to make your move so he can counterpunch you. Then when he has you in trouble, he's willing to move forward. His attack is a pretty straightforward one. On the face of it, you might say Crawford, but I think the thing about Canelo Alvarez is that he has seen every style that you can see.
Teddy Atlas has consistently praised Terence Crawford, highlighting the elements of his greatness that go beyond mere wins. He's spoken about Crawford's rare mental gifts, his timing, instincts, ability to read opponents, and skill at adjusting mid-fight. Atlas believes Crawford possesses intangible qualities not always reflected in statistics, such as craftiness, ring IQ, and heart. He has also expressed admiration for how Crawford has navigated multiple weight classes, retained his skill set, and faced major challenges without shying away from risk.
He passes the eye test. Everyone he's been in there, he's won convincingly. I know with the Matrimore fight, people want him to win big. It was his first time stepping up in weight to 154, and it was a guy with 300 amateur fights, only had 10 pro fights, but he had 300 amateur fights, with the best international fighters in the world. And he had a very deliberate style, a very distinct style, a very awkward style in its own way. So people don't look at that. They don't look at the things, obviously, that I'm looking at, being a trainer, being in the business of boxing my whole life, 50 years of it.
Jeff Mayweather, uncle of Floyd Mayweather Jr., recently commented on Canelo Alvarez's claim that Terence Crawford is superior to Floyd. He suggested that Canelo's praise might be strategic, aimed at boosting the perceived value of his opponent ahead of their fight. While Jeff acknowledged Crawford's skill, particularly his intelligence in the ring, he disagreed with the idea that Crawford has surpassed Floyd's defensive mastery. He also noted that such comparisons are often used by fighters to frame a victory over a highly regarded opponent as more significant, enhancing their own legacy.